I hit the wrong button. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Dishin Up Clix. As always, I am Aries Edge, and with me, the one and only Ginger.
Hello.
We have a very special edition, the Valentine's Day edition. I asked Ginger, hey, what do you want to do for Valentine's Day? And she's like, what day is that? I said, today. She said, it's Friday. So, some quick housekeeping. We are going to talk about a couple of things real quickly. This Saturday, WizKids opens. We have, I believe we have one in Lexington, Kentucky at the Rusty Scabbard. We have one at King Games in Brooklyn, New York. It is sealed. I will be there. Sunday, we have one in Pawtucket, Rhode Island at Untapped Games 300 Modern. You should check it out. Or not, but we are apparently. So, yeah. So we have those going on. Let's talk about the exceptional traders of the week. This week, I had the privilege of trading with Blake Ledbetter. Outstanding trader. Always packages his stuff outstandingly.
Where is he from?
I'm gonna look it up right now.
You don't know where you sent?
I would have to legitimately
what state?
pull up. I don't know. I had 4 trades this week.
Oh. I used to know Matthew Ledbetter.
Well, Blake Ledbetter was also the winner of the 12 Days of Clixmas as well.
Really?
Yes, he was.
That's weird. I didn't realize that his last name was Ledbetter.
Ledbetter.
Okay.
So as soon as I can dig through, there we go. So Blake Ledbetter, I sent him an entire set of the unpainted X-Men. He sent me a couple of just super rares that I needed, the Clayface from Rebirth. He sent me the super rare War Machine from the new Captain America set. He sent me Black Manta. And he sent me the Prime Bizarro. So outstanding, thank you very much. He is from, if I can scroll through here, I want to say Illinois, but I could be incorrect. He's from Illinois. So thank you, Blake. We also had Nick Kruger, outstanding trader, very straight to the point. There was no going back and forth. Well, will you do this? Well, will you do that? How about this? How about that? Sent him what he wanted, and he sent me a Captain Marvel super rare and a Mandarin super rare. I have 2 Mandarin super rares now because I ended up pulling one at the WizKids Open, so that's just the nature of the beast. We also had where are you? I am not prepared. Joe Ruffing. I traded this gentleman. What did he want? He wanted the Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch, and the Pixie from the WizKids Open prizing. I sent him that, and he sent me a Prime Storm. And then, of course, last but not least, I had a trade this week with the one and only Tyler Locke from Smetch Games. Amazing trader. Always loved dealing with Smetch Games. He was looking for a handful of rares, Moonstone, Nico Minoru, Baron Zemo, Bastion, Fantasia, Brew, a couple other things I threw in there, and I was behind on some of the op kit stuff. So he threw in a couple op kit figures, a couple of the rares and uncommons that I was looking for from Captain America and the Avengers, and then he's also sending me a new Smetch shirt. So Tyler Locke, awesome, great venue over there at Smetch Games. One of these days, hopefully, I'll be able to get out to Colorado and actually play some HeroClix. What else do we have going on? Not many viewer questions, so we're going to do something a little different. as well, and we're gonna jump right into that now, so we can get some dialogue going back and forth. We are gonna go over some of the top.
Some of what we think are the greatest couples in comic books. And we are staying within the DC and Marvel universes.
Yes. Ginger will be doing the Marvel universe, because as we all know, I am a DC guy. And of course, she will be. I'll be doing DC. She'll be doing Marvel. When you actually go in and you start digging through who's dated who in certain aspects, we got a couple of dirtbag dudes here in. How amazing was it to get locations and dates for Worlds and Nats? I mean, we knew Origins was going to be Nationals. And we kind of figured already we knew what the dates were. It was nice to see the dates for Worlds. I believe they're doing the 8th through the 11th in October. And also, from what I understand, is October 12th is a national holiday. So they're going to be running games later on that Sunday than usual, just because a lot of people should or will have that Monday off. So they're going to do an actual full day of games on Sunday. Also, really cool to see some of the figures that they have for kind of exclusives. We have finally we have an Ares, a DC Ares as one of the con exclusives this year. We have the clear John Cena, because obviously you cannot see him. So of course, a little tongue in cheek there to the clear John Cena, and we have the cosmic Ghost Rider with the baby Thanos with him. So interested to see if they're going to be buyables or if they're just going to be purchasables. We don't have that information yet, but yes, it is nice that they are kind of laying out the entire season's worth of, here are your big events, these are the dates that we're doing. They're going to, of course, plug in things like Canadian Nationals and stuff like that as they come up. Yeah, it makes it easier to plan out your trips. It makes it easier to plan out what tickets you need to buy, and you can start getting that ball rolling now. So that's nice. So, going back to Valentine's Day, some of the most epic couples in the Marvel and DC universe. Ginger, what do you have? What is your first Marvel couple that we can discuss?
So I don't have these ranked in any specific order.
I don't either.
I don't have favorites, last, first, or any which way. And I am going from not so much a comic book background as much as a cinematic Marvel background. I love the TV shows, all of them pretty much, and I love the movies. So my view on most of them, not all of them, but most of them is from that viewpoint, which can differ very much so from the comic book relationships. But when I first thought up this kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, this theme for this evening, the first one that came to my mind, because I enjoyed the characters so very much, were Luke Cage and Jessica Jones.
From the actual the Netflix series.
From the Netflix series, I thought that they were scripted incredibly well. I thought that visually they were absolutely perfect.
They're cast very well too.
They were really, the personalities were volatile and sexy, and it was really just a perfect pairing, honestly. She wasn't Playboy bunny pretty. She was raw and gritty, and she's gorgeous, but it was perfect. I really enjoyed that pairing, and I hope maybe somewhere, somehow we get to see it again. I don't really know what's going on with that universe because of all of the new kind of of shutting down of TV shows on Netflix and then new shows popping up here, there, and everywhere. So we'll see, but hopefully some way, we'll see them again.
I did more of a traditional, like just going through comic book lore and seeing who's actually dated who. I'm gonna start off right off the rip, and I'm gonna say that the sleaziest DC character of all time has to be Batman, in my opinion. This is the, and this goes maybe across multiple books and things like that. Batman has dated Catwoman, Talia al Ghul, which he also had a son with, which became Damian Wayne. He dated Vicky Vale. He dated Wonder Woman. He dated Zatanna, and he dated Sasha Bordeaux, all at different periods of time throughout whatever continuities there were. Going to the screen, I enjoyed his back and forth. Now we're gonna go two different ones. Michael Keaton, I enjoyed how he was with Vicky Vale in the first Batman movie, but then I also liked his interaction with Michelle Pfeiffer in the second Batman movie. They both understood where they were coming from, and they both understood the lives that they lived, which also kind of blended over into the Nolan movies, where you had Anne Hathaway playing Catwoman, and it was always this like mysterious like back and forth that they would have, and like things like that.
I also liked that they were never competing women. You see that in a lot of movies where
he's juggling girls or whatever
falling
it is
all over him. But in those movies, he has their individual interest, and I appreciate that because you got to fully develop that character more instead of 7 women that you only know their first name. You knew what.
You mean kind of like Iron Man in the movies where he was just juggling a slew of reporters and physicists.
I liked the character of Vicky Vale, and I love the character of Catwoman, especially Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman. I just think it's classic.
Which one's better, Michelle Pfeiffer or Anne Hathaway?
Michelle Pfeiffer.
Ooh.
She was just mangy and dirty, and
We're
really
totally forgetting about Halle Berry too.
No,
everyone
that's
forgets
not
about
even,
Halle Berry.
seriously. I mean,
Everyone forgets about Halle Berry.
Halle Berry is absolutely stunning, but that movie was just
trash.
It was a good time.
Trash.
But Michelle Pfeiffer was Catwoman. When I think of Catwoman, I do not think of Anne Hathaway. I think of Michelle Pfeiffer with that pleather outfit and the white stitching, and it was just everything that every woman, and I think I was like maybe 10 or 11 when it came out. It was fantastic. It was perfect.
Yeah, what do you got next? What's the second one up on your list?
I don't really have these in any kind of order, but we'll go for kind of an interesting one. So, I'm assuming that everybody that's listening to this has seen Deadpool. Deadpool 1, Deadpool 2, we love them. Deadpool and Copycat. So, in the Deadpool movies, he has a girlfriend / fiance that dies. I'm sorry, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, she dies.
She dies in movie 2. However, in the comic books, she's actually a merc. She's a mutant shapeshifter named Copycat. Same character, just different endings. She kind of, I don't know if you've seen the comic book character of her. She kind of looks like a sock puppet in her final form. However, she can shift into whatever she wants. But I think that their characters together are hysterical. I think that it's a lot of what you and I have. It's a lot of sass, back and forth, sarcasm, one-upping, trying to, there's never going to be a competition that we are not going to try and win. There's never going to be one that I lose just to make you feel better.
No,
Kind of
there's no
relationship.
there's no making me feel
So
better.
I really liked that. You know, he is what was it? An avocado that had sex with an older, deader.
You know, like
avocado.
a topographical map of
Yeah,
Utah.
Yes. So he looks like that, and she looks like a sock puppet, and I think it's wonderful.
See, but here's also the thing too in those movies, because he also dates death at some point in time in the comic books. So the rumor was too is that she could have also been playing death as well.
There's a lot
because
of
she brings death to him, and he still perseveres, and it makes him who he is.
And there's a rumor that she's copycat.
There is.
And that would be great. I don't any way they go with it. I just hope she comes back. I really enjoyed her. I thought their relationship was really perfect.
I just hope they make a Deadpool 3 because right now it's kind of up in the air.
Yeah, I mean we'll get there, but out of those, I guess you could call them 3 relationships. I liked Deadpool and Copycat. They're my favorite.
I'm gonna go a little bit out of the ordinary, I guess. Let me rephrase that. It's not out of the ordinary. I'm gonna go Kate Kane, who plays Batwoman, and her relationship with Renee Montoya. This is something that we are seeing more and more throughout comic book land. There is this big stigma about LGBTQ and its place in comic books. And then all of a sudden it was like they went out of their way to retroactively make homosexual characters, like Iceman all of a sudden in one of the comic series was homosexual.
You can
Alan
just say
Scott.
gay. You don't need to say.
Oh, I'm sorry that I'm using the
Okay, it's just.
I'm using the politically correct.
Go for it. Okay.
They made Alan Scott gay from the Green Lantern series, and it was almost like they were like, "Oh God, we have to like." Instead of letting it just naturally occur, hey, we're gonna write a book, and this is what's going to happen in the book, and people being like, "Brilliant, that's great." It's like, no, we have to put a Band-Aid on it, so let's just go back and retroactively make, Iceman. Let's make Iceman gay. Okay. Who else? Alan Scott. Let's make him gay. Oh yeah.
Well, I don't
Instead of it being,
think it was.
It was.
I understand where you're coming from. I just.
But now we've seen these things happen naturally with Batwoman and Renee Montoya, with Hulkling and Wiccan, with Daken being a bisexual character. Daken is Wolverine's son.
Mm-hmm.
So we are seeing these organic things, and we are kind of getting into the heads and into more feelings. It's not just a comic book. Like, you get to understand their struggles, and you get to understand where they're coming from organically in comic books, instead of it just being like, oh shit, let's just put a Band-Aid on it and let's just make someone happy.
I see it as...
Well, I mean, Iceman was straight for forever, and then all of a sudden it was like, boom, let's make him gay, or
was he straight,
Alan Scott.
Or was he in the closet? You had multiple writers writing comic books. It wasn't just one guy writing the whole thing. You have no idea if that guy was gay. These characters came out, I shouldn't say in a time where it was unaccepted, because unfortunately that's
It still isn't
time,
accepted.
but you may have had a writer writing himself and writing, and hoping one day,
putting his feelings behind it.
right, and hoping one day he gets to step up into the light and say, yes, I am who I am, and fuck anybody who says anything different. You can't really... I don't know the comics well enough. I don't read them, like I said, to say if it was organic or not. It's not my place to say that. I'm not the writer. Everybody interprets reading differently. But I have to play the devil's advocate and say that I don't know what it's like to be in the closet. And I don't know how I would write a story if I no longer had to be in the closet.
No,
if
that's
it would
true.
come up organically or if it would just be there.
No, you're right. So who do you got next? What's going on for your Marvel?
So, I really hated the Fantastic Four movies. Like,
It's the first family of
I
Marvel.
I really, really, really didn't like them. I thought that they were about as good as Catwoman with Halle Berry.
Oh, which one though? The originals or the reboot?
No. I thought the one that just came out a couple of years ago. I just thought it didn't get a shot. Like, I really was hoping it would.
It was weird. They had a great cast. They had one of the better casts. And they flushed it.
I love Rooney Mara. It doesn't matter. Actually, it wasn't Rooney Mara. It was Rooney Mara's sister. But I love that whole cast. I thought they were really good. I thought there was a lot of stuff in the way. It was like a really jam-packed story. And I get it. I
like Michael B. Jordan in it.
We love him. But I feel like there was a lot going on in a very short amount of time, and you were kind of trying to just figure out what the heck was going on. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the ones that had, Jessica Alba. Don't get me wrong, she's absolutely stunning.
In Captain America? I mean, Chris.
Chris Evans.
Chris
so
Evans?
That was going to be the only shining light in those movies is Chris Evans.
Then we get to see Alba in underwear.
Okay, I'm talking, we're going to go as like an actor.
I like the thing and the fact that they didn't use CGI on him.
No,
they used makeup and it looked hokey.
It wasn't even that. I'm cool with a hokey movie.
Oh crap.
The whole plot line, the whole characterization, everything.
But again, it was also Sony, and Sony was just
What is that? Like all of them, I don't get it. But I love Chris Evans. I love Chris Evans as the Human Torch. So I'm gonna go with the Human Torch and Medusa.
Oh yeah, because they're the Inhumans kind of thing.
I don't know how much humor he had in the comic books. If it was similar,
he's still snarky. Him and Ben Grimm go back and forth and have.
And I really enjoy that. I love that. But I know that Medusa's a pretty serious, straightforward character, and I can see their relationship as being pretty damn funny. And him just pissing her off, and her snakehead ass just wanting to like turn him to stone every third hour of the day.
Medusa's an Inhuman. Her fighting power is she uses her big ass hair to fight. Necessarily doesn't turn people into stone, but she'll mess you up with her hair.
She's got green sparkles on her nose. Where did that come from?
I don't know. Well, she's over there in the closet, dicking around. So, just to go through some of the obvious. I mean, we have a comment here from Marcus Zilla. He's a Spider-Man person, so he enjoyed Pete and MJ and Pete and Gwen.
Yeah.
Obviously, just don't take her on a date towards the Brooklyn Bridge. That usually isn't going to end well for Gwen. Spoiler alert, she dead. So let me just run through some of my list here. I mean, we have the obvious. You have Superman and Lois Lane, Superman and Wonder Woman. Obviously you have Hawkman and Hawkgirl. You have Aquaman and Mera. You have Nightwing and Oracle, which is Barbara Gordon. Big Barda and Mr. Miracle. You have Green Arrow and Black Canary.
Are you just listing every single couple?
I'm just going through the ones that like are to comic book fans are just like, okay, yeah, they were. I mean, you had Hal Jordan and Carol Ferris. Hal Jordan was part of the Green Lanterns. Carol Ferris ends up becoming part of the Star Sapphires. But my favorite, and probably one of the more screwed up ones, is obviously the Joker and Harley Quinn. This is a love-hate relationship, kind of. I love you as a person, and I hate that I can't quit you, kind of, in my opinion. Harley Quinn, or Harleen Quinzel, was obviously the Joker's doctor, and he manipulated her, basically brainwashed her into loving him. And then I don't know if it actually ever turned into her realizing that I do love him, but she was so dependent on him, she would do things, she would kill for him, she would break him out of places, and I don't know if Joker actually can ever actually feel love. So it's a very weird dynamic there, just for the fact that you have this sociopath, you have this person who will kill at the drop of a hat, but yet he always keeps Harley Quinn around. So you don't ever really know if he actually does have feelings for her or love her, or if he just keeps her around for the fact that he knows he's broken her, and he knows that she'll never do him wrong. So it's a very weird, manipulative sort of relationship where there are no real clean cut lines of love or intimacy or companionship or anything along those natures. So it's a weird one.
I mean, you know, I love me some Harley Quinn and Joker psychopathy. I think that they were. I'm sure that they started off as one thing in the comics and then have just kind of slowly evolved into something a little bit more. A little bit more of a disease than just, oh, I love you.
Yeah, it's way more
Something that's kind of been
a dependency almost.
Yeah, they
like,
kind of. It's like they're addicts for each other.
Yep. That's it. It's almost more of like an addiction.
And I have to say, it's something that I understand. I understand not being able to walk away, not being able to quit. That feeling, and it feels a little bit more real, a little bit more of a real world relationship as opposed to a written relationship by a guy who's, you know, married his high school sweetheart and never looked back. I've been that girl that should have walked away, should have quit that guy, and just couldn't do it. So I really enjoy that relationship, and no matter which way it goes, if it's Joaquin Phoenix and some new Harley Quinn, if it's Margot Robbie and Jared Leto, I would just like to see something occur because I feel like we haven't quite gotten there in any of the movies.
That is true. That is true. Who do you got next on your list of Marvels? I have a messed up one next.
I have a couple classics. I'll go with 3 classics, and then one of my very favorite goofy ones, and then I'm done. So my first classic is Daredevil and Elektra.
Yep.
I think they're a beautiful couple. I think that they come from a very disciplined background, her being from a Greek family, which in and of itself is straight up discipline. And him having a disability with his blindness and having to be disciplined in order to live his life, and they come together, and I think it's wonderful. I think it's lovely. I really liked Ben Affleck's Daredevil. I also liked not as much, but I liked the Netflix Daredevil.
I like Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I do as well. And the character, I'm sorry, I don't know his name, who played the Netflix Daredevil, he was a little dry and a little unemotive.
It was very much religious drawn. Like it was him. It was a lot of internal, like fighting
struggle, and that's fine.
It was
but
with his religion and like.
The problem is this: so when you can't see a character's body part that you show emotion out of, you have to kind of get it from somewhere else. And with Ben Affleck, I kind of feel like you got that. You got the struggle and the irritation and the anger, and you got the happiness. And with the Netflix Daredevil, I just feel like he was boring. I thought the stories were phenomenal. I thought great. The arc between all of the Netflix series was fantastic. The fight scenes were unbelievably well choreographed. However, I think that him as an actor was lackluster. So I'm just going to go with the straight up Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner Elektra.
I thought she was a good Elektra too.
I thought she was great.
And who was in that movie? one of the godfathers of the MCU.
Still don't know. Who? I don't know.
Favreau?
Oh, God, he's in everything. My favorite guy who literally can do anything, be anyone, produce, direct, write. Jon freaking Favreau. Unreal. I found out a cool piece of trivia this week that he was Barack Obama's head speechwriter.
He was basically his ghostwriter.
Like, no, he wasn't a ghostwriter. He was not a ghostwriter. He was his head speechwriter. Like, that to me, that's... How did I not know that? How did we not know that as such huge fans of his? I feel like, I don't know. I feel like he should wear a t-shirt that says it because it's amazing.
Charlie Cox is the name of the Daredevil.
The guy.
Yes.
I'm sure he's great. I find him to be boring.
I thought he was a good Daredevil. I thought he fought well. That one scene fighting in the stairwell
unbelievable.
was one of the best
but that
fight
wasn't
scenes.
Acting. That was fighting. It was a totally different thing. I think any of him being physical, absolutely amazing. I think that he is freaking 10 times the, I guess you'd say, fighter that Ben Affleck was. However, acting-wise, I think Ben Affleck's got him. And that's kind of saying something, because Ben Affleck's not I mean,
Ben Affleck's
like
an amazing actor.
But over other people who can be
with the range of characters that he's done,
we're not even going
from Good Will Hunting to The Town to...
We're not going to go there. The Accountant, amazing.
The Accountant,
anyway, so...
I'm going to cry now.
That was my number one. My number two is Ant-Man and Wasp. I love them. I hope we get to see a little bit more. No, they're going to be dead, gone. And
you're talking... Which Ant-Man and Wasp are we talking about?
I'm talking from the cinematic...
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if we're talking Ant-Man and Wasp of the comic book series, Ant-Man and Wasp would be, on the comic book end of it, probably one of the worst couples ever, because Hank Pym is such a scumbag.
Okay, but
he beats Janet Pym a lot. He's an alcoholic. He's jealous of her. Hank Pym is probably one of the scummiest.
I understand.
No, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the movie version with...
Right, so stop trying to talk over my couples.
I'm just adding on the comic book form as like the yin to your yang.
Okay, I'm not talking about the comic book form.
Well,
I've explained that from the beginning. I'm not up to date on all of the comic books, obviously.
And that's why I threw in a little song.
However, the movies, I think that they portray them pretty well. I like their relationship. It's funny. It's goofy. She's a great fighter. He ends up being a little muscular and showing off like some arm guns and being kind of a fighter. And I enjoy it. I thought that they were great. I thought her kicking his ass was perfection.
When she just punches him in the nose.
Oh, it's
just punches Paul Rudd right in the face.
Beautiful.
Just whap.
And then my third, before my last, is Vision and Scarlet Witch.
Oh, they're gonna have a great TV show too.
I just really, I love him, and I know it. I always forget it. I'm so bad with names, and I apologize.
Oh, Paul Bettany?
I have loved him from A Knight's Tale. I just think
What else was he in?
Absolutely. He was in that Angel Demons movie. I think he is funny. I think he's serious. And
you're talking about like the Angels and Demons? The follow-up. That was the first. That was the Da Vinci Code.
The Da Vinci Code was the second book, but the first movie.
The first movie. He was in that. He played Barabbas. I think it was Yeah. I
liked him as Jarvis, and he wasn't even a character. He was
just
a
voice.
And he was perfect. His the way he can just say a line and you crack up because it's just wonderful.
He's a robot. He's not worthy. Pick the hammer up.
I know, right? And then
elevator goes up. Elevator's not worthy.
Scarlet Witch I thought was really good. Her character development I don't think has really, you don't see very much of it. Kind of see a small, her maybe getting a handle on her powers a little more and then maybe not. She's badass, don't get me wrong, I think it's cool, but I'm hoping maybe in the show they will maybe develop that a little bit more. But I like the relationship. I think it's great.
Yeah, she I don't think she has come into her own yet when it comes to knowing her powers and actually being able to use her powers.
Yeah, and she wasn't a main character. And I can understand why she wasn't at the forefront of, every Avengers movie and why there wasn't a huge character development there. I get that. I totally understand. That's why I'm hoping that maybe in the series you'll get to see a little bit more, And I think that would be great.
That'd be nice. All right, so I'm going to go into another one, and then I'll go ahead and I'll wrap up, and I'll point out.
I got one more.
A couple. You have one more?
I got one more. It's my favorite.
Well, I have to go into a couple ones after this one, just because I don't. It's a messed up one. So we're gonna go Elongated Man and Sue Dibney. For those that don't know the story of Elongated Man and Sue Dibney, he's Ralph Dibney, Sue Dibney. Sue Dibney ends up getting murdered, and raped by a man named Dr. Light. Zatanna, for some reason, is like, oh yeah, we're going to go ahead and try and rehabilitate him, and basically just fries his brain, turns him into a vegetable. I'm reading it here. He becomes a less intelligent and very incompetent, that's what he becomes. Just basically, she fries his head and he becomes a vegetable. But what I don't understand is, where's Ralph in all of this? They were a couple, and this happens. This catastrophic thing happens, and I feel like they should have gotten justice for it and should have let Elongated Man crush him to pieces. Obviously, we have Raven and Beast Boy. Apollo and Midnighter is another one. Black Adam and Isis. John Constantine and Zatanna. And of course, you can't talk about couples and the ultimate sacrifices and things of that nature when it comes to DC couples. This is the cream of the crop. This is the tops of the top. This is the quintessential couple. Victor Freeze and Nora Fields, Mr. Freeze and his wife. The man who freezes his wife and turns to a life of crime. This episode of Batman the Animated Series actually, I believe, won an Emmy because of how deep it was. It was one of the first animated TV shows that actually, I think, won an Emmy. And it showed that no matter what would happen to his wife, he would continue. No matter what the obstacles were, he would work and he would put himself at risk, and he would do anything that he could to find a cure for his wife, to bring back the love of his life. It is a tragic tale. It is a tale of love. It is a tale of perseverance. It is a tale of just raw emotions. If you haven't seen the Batman the Animated Series with that episode, you need to go find it and take a look at it and watch it. It's for a cartoon. It's very deep. The storyline just behind Victor Freeze and his wife is just a complex, deep one, where it's basically a man at the end of the line and would do anything to bring his wife back healthy. And I don't know about anybody else, but if Ginger here were to ever fall sick and things like that, I would machete hack and kill my way through everything and anybody that stood in my way to find a cure and to find a way to bring her back and or cure her disease. And basically that's what it's showing with Victor Freeze, is it's a man that without his wife, without his soulmate, he's nothing. So now he is reinvigorated in a world where he is going to find that cure to bring her back, even if it means for him to do things that he knows he can't come back from. It's one of the most beautiful and one of the most complicated love stories and relationships in DC Comics, and it is probably my favorite.
And our Arnold Schwarzenegger just really...
And Schwarzenegger ruined it. He just, I'm going to get the diamonds. Chill out, Batman. Such a diss. You go from Batman the Animated Series, I think, with that episode winning an Emmy, and then you cast Schwarzenegger to take on that role and just be a complete schlub. Ugh, so disrespectful.
It's kind of a rough one. So my last one is one of my favorites, and not for any kind of highfalutin reasons. It's not a deep relationship. It's not a special relationship. They are probably not soulmates, but hey, who am I to say? It is Drax and Mantis. I absolutely love both of them with every fiber of my being.
You're hideous. He just
I think that
shits in her face.
I just think it's fantastic. I think her makeup is perfect. She looks like a flighty little idiot, no pun intended, because she's a bug. But I just find them to be granted, Guardians of the Galaxy is a comedy, so there's a lot of comic relief.
No, what's her face? Gamora and no,
that's not special. Drax and Mantis are special.
Yeah, if I don't move, you can't see me.
Hey Drax, I love them so much. She loves him. He hates her, but kind of loves her, but doesn't know it yet. It's like a relationship that you would see between a boy and a girl in like first grade. I just enjoy it so very much. I hope there's a Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
There is. Thor is supposed to be in it as well because he took off with them. So I don't know what that
Batista,
is going to bring.
I think, is really great. Everything that I've seen him in, I think he's... Aries may disagree with me, but I really enjoy him as an actor. Palm, who plays Mantis, I think that I haven't gotten to see any of her work because she has not been in a lot of stuff, and she is French. So most of the things that she has been in... Is she really? Yes, she is. She's had quite the life, and most of the movies that she's been in or things she's been in are in French, and I can't speak French. Well, I can understand a little bit, but I can't speak it. So I haven't gotten to see her body of work, but together I think they're wonderful, and I really, really hope that they just keep it the way it is.
What is Batista's body of work?
WWE?
I don't mind him in WWE. He was also in the one of the Riddick movies.
Yes.
He played a mercenary.
And he was great, and I love him.
What was the other one he was just in? Or he was in like an Uber. Where he was in like an Uber, and the Uber guy was driving him around. It was like a comedy.
I don't know.
He had just had, I don't know if he just had like LASIK surgery so he couldn't drive or something weird. It was, I'll have to look it up.
I think he's really great. I read about what he had to sit through. It's called Stuber, by the way.
Stuber, there you go.
It was like 12. First of all, they did SEAL team capture training on him because he had to stand and hold 2 poles that had tennis balls on them and not move for 6 hours a day every day of filming. It might have been more, might have been like 8 hours a day.
Why is he holding poles?
So that he wouldn't move, and then it because they put all of those tattoos. So
he would put his hands.
Exactly.
I thought he was holding them like.
He would rest his hands upon the tennis balls, and that way he would be in the same spot every single time. But they actually put him through SEAL Team 6 training, for if you're taken hostage, because standing there for that amount of time, day after day after day, can wreck your psyche.
Oh yeah.
So I credit him for that. I really think that people don't give him enough credit for that character and what is put into that character. And like I said, Palm, I think you're awesome. I hope I get to see you in more things. You kill me. Oh, he was Inspector. That's right. He was Inspector. I'm a huge James Bond fan. Can't wait for the newest one to come out.
Was he Inspector?
Yes, he was. I don't know if anybody else cares, but the newest James Bond's theme song dropped today. It's pretty damn good.
Who does it?
Billie Eilish. It's wonderful. So
Really?
check that out if you haven't. If you don't like James Bond, then I'll just go in my hidey hole over here and cry.
I mean, I think everybody has to love James Bond. James Bond is...
I really hope so.
I wanted to say it was an American tradition, but it's British.
Oh.
But, like,
No,
James
it's
Bond...
definitely not an American tradition.
But still, it should be.
A couple of things that Batista was in really quickly that we didn't think about. Blade Runner, the newest Blade Runner.
Forgot all about that.
Yep. Tried to watch it like 6 times.
Yep. Sleepy time. Just... Pfft. Hey, babe, you want to go to bed? Okay, throw on Blade Runner.
He was in Heist with Robert De Niro.
Huh?
Yep.
Did we see that?
I did. I don't know if you did. And he was in the really bad Scorpion King. The third one.
Was he really?
Yeah, with the guy that plays Hellboy. The same guy that's in...
Ron Perlman?
Yes. It's so bad.
Ron Perlman from Blade 2?
Yeah. Blade 2.
Yeah, he put, Wesley
Oh,
Snipes
yeah,
puts
yeah.
that bomb thing on the back of his head.
Yes. I was thinking, I was gonna go with Sons of Anarchy.
He was in Sons of Anarchy as well.
Anyways, really terrible, totally off topic, but that's my last one.
Don't close the video and go check it out right now.
It's bad. It's so bad. It's good. Do it.
Kenji, I'm closing this video. I'm gonna go check it out right now. I'm not picking you up tomorrow, then, you jerk.
Okay. Who's your last one?
That was it. That was the cream of the crop. It was Victor Fries. There's a couple notables that I don't think that we mentioned for Marvel and DC.
No, I'm not mentioning them because they're not worth mentioning.
Cyclops and Jean Grey.
Don't give up.
In the love triangle of doom.
Really
between
don't care
her
about
and
the love
Wolverine
triangle
and all
of
that
doom.
good jazz.
No.
I'm just talking about comics and things like that.
I think Cyclops is a whiny bitch, and he is probably my least favorite character of any of the movies, comics, or whatever else you got out there. Literally drives me crazy. No matter who the actor is that's playing him, it has nothing against
That's
them.
true.
I think he's a whiny bitch.
Yeah. No,
Ugh.
no, I will agree. I think we hit the big ones, the ones that I know of. If you disagree with it, please comment on the video. Let us know what you think, what was overlooked.
If you disagree with it, please know I don't care.
She does. She was
He
doing
does.
she was doing the Marvel MCU version of her favorite.
Right. If you
I
have
was doing
some
more of a
favorites-
comic book approach to it.
If you have some favorites from the Marvel universe that are the comics that are, let's say, atypical, I would love to hear it.
Marcus thinks Cyclops is a whiny bitch too.
Oh God! Even in the comic, even in the
The animated series.
that used to
Wolverine, you need to follow directions. Poof, I follow your directions,
Seriously.
bub.
My brother and I, when we were little, and would Friday nights watched that show because it would come with the Domino's pizza. It was like fast forward through this whiny asshole. Granted, I'm sure we were using that language, but maybe we were.
You probably were.
He's annoying then. He's annoying now. They need to update that character or just kill him.
Didn't they try and kill him?
What,
Oh,
he whined his way out of it? I don't know.
They killed Phoenix. They killed her. Other than that, what else did we have? I'm gonna do a dish talk or another one here eventually. We're gonna talk about different formats that can possibly, because this is running a little late than we thought. I know it was a spot on Wolverine impression. Thank you. But I'll do another video here soon, or a dish talk, where we talk about other potential formats that can be run in HeroClix. WizKids open tomorrow. I will be in King's Games in Brooklyn. If you're in the neighborhood, stop by. Kenji, I'll be at your crib early. Scoop you up.
Kenji, be aware, when he says early, he means at least 2 hours.
I'm leaving the house probably by 6
a.m.
So I'll probably be getting to you by like 8.
Or like 6:45, because it's 6 o'clock in the morning and you're the only asshole on the road.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, other than that, again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Critical Hits Customs. If
Always.
you go ahead and you hit them up, you hit up their Critical Hits Custom page and message them, or hit up Marcuszilla or whomever you may do that. Use the promo code Aries10. Aries10 is if you spend $10, you will get all of the Captain America and the Avengers bystanders for free.
That's pretty
So
damn
you
amazing.
get basically any old bystanders you need, spend $10. You get a free set of the new Captain America and the Avengers bystanders just for getting some back bystanders that you need. Also, thank you to Sargis Comics and Games for always taking care of us when we have WizKids Open, state championships, bigger events, so on and so forth. And also, big shout out to Smetch.
Games. I just like saying it.
What's that?
Smetch Rats Games.
Smetch Rats Games out there in Colorado. Thank you to Tyler Locke. Appreciate the trade. I will be rocking that T-shirt as soon as it comes in. Thank you so much. I have the old one upstairs. Yeah, the pink one.
Yeah, that's my
The black
favorite.
and the pink. Maybe I'll wear it tomorrow.
I love it. And
Maybe
if you're
I'll wear it
getting a new
tomorrow.
one, then I might have to steal the old one.
You're not gonna steal the old one. We will. Kenji and I will try and keep you guys updated. I will be updating build sheets on the Dishin Up Clix podcast and YouTube page. So if you're not subscribed to that page, go over there and get on the Dishin Up Clix podcast and YouTube Facebook page. Also, subscribe here, and anytime we put up anything, we will it'll let you know. And bada boom, bada bing, here we are. Anything I'm missing?
No, but maybe you and Kenji do like a little live video on your way into
Oh, a little live video. Maybe we'll find a diner. We can go do some dishes. There you
That would
go.
be great. That's the new YouTube series right there. You just walking into restaurants
I gotta
randomly
do
and
it.
saying, "Excuse me, I don't want to eat your food. I just want to do your dishes."
Worlds this year is going to be October 8th through October 11th. If I'm able to make it down there, I have to get to a restaurant or something and be like, I just need you to let me do 10 minutes of your dishes.
You know, I could probably hook you up on that, friend. I have some people that, from working in the business that I worked in previously, know a lot of people who work in a lot of commercial restaurants. So,
good to know. With that being said, everybody, thank you for showing up. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Valentine's Day.
yeah.
This is what we did on our Valentine's Day. We came and we hung out with you guys and we talked comic books and movies and HeroClix. So have a great weekend with you and your loved ones. Hopefully, I'm going to New York and I'm gonna invade and bring home a W for Connecticut. So take care. Have a great weekend. We are out of here.
Like shout. Bye.
Out like shout. Later.